Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rizzo Rink for the early game on this Friday night. One of the first Friday night doubleheaders we've had in recent league history, and as long as I've been around, for the last 6-7 years. But we are about to get underway with the first game on this Friday night between two playoff teams, and both games of this doubleheader between two playoff teams. This one between the Black Storm and the Thunder, and it appears from my vantage point between the benches and entirely blocked from one, but it looks like both are shorthanded. Coach James Delaney of the Thunder considering a 4-on-4 for the game. We already have shortened periods to 10 minutes. So it'll be 3 10-minute frames in at least the early game tonight. And we will stick to 5-on-5. We will see how the combined one sub between these two teams will handle today. 3 10-minute periods about to get underway, and the first whistle sounds. The Thunder take the opening draw in the main circle, and Traeger Hogarth on the opening pass. He gets the return feed, and Hogarth finds Lucas Spence around the blue line. Spence has the ball bounce around the stick a few times, now driving in between the circles, firing a shot, and it takes a one hop wide of the starting goaltender today for the Black Storm, and that's number 28, Blake Beal. Second chance try for the Thunder turned away, and Beal got a piece of it. May have been helped out by the iron as well. He's hit the Thunder into the corner, now a feed in front, and another pass just a little high. Lucas Spence had a chance at the doorstep. Ground ball picked up by Michael Carbone, and his shot ushered wide into the corner. Lasati chasing it down. He took an awkward shot. Lasati's down, and he will remain down on the floor, and he hit the ball a little awkwardly. He'll come off, so an early sub as Andrew Thomas comes on for number 27, Sergio Lasati, and that would be a big loss early in this one for the Black Storm, as again, both teams shorthanded, and now the Storm with no subs. Pass to Carbone, and that one hit the iron. Carbone almost broke the scoreless tie early on, about 90 seconds in. Rebound fought for by Spence in that corner by the Mark Squillo sign. Spence still trying to break loose. Now he does. Hits up Hogarth, who's thrown down. Hand goes up in front of the net. And it appears like we'll have a delayed call against the Black Storm. It is the right call. Does a little bit of extra what was needed. Atkinson coming off. Hogarth, 6-on-5 now for the Thunder offense. Atkinson up the floor, Declan Hogarth in front. And the Hogarth connection comes up empty. Shot clock violation on the Thunder. And when the Storm touch, the penalty will be called. So 2-minute penalty going against Colin Bozak, number 11 on the Black Storm. 2-minute minor for the hold, so the Thunder will be a man up. Clock will stop at 7:38. Thunder will resume play. Hogarth in the near circle, the return, and fired a pass just a bit wide of Ryan Kwan. It looked to be deflected by a member of the Storm before it got there. Now the Storm on the offensive, coming back up the other way. It's Andrew Thomas, who again subbed on for the injured Lasati, who now turns the ball over in his offensive zone. The first clean possession the Storm have had today, though, and Kwan saw a pass go wide over his head. Now Kwan on a centering feed, nobody home. And knocked away. Scott Jackson was contesting for it for a brief moment for the Storm. He'll watch it go all the way back down into his offensive zone. And the Thunder the other way, and a one-hop shot turned away. Carbone with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Another one, and that one's blockered back. Spence one last time at the horn, and he scores. Lucas Spence gets the first goal of the game and gets the Thunder on the board on the man up. With 6:40 to play, it's 1-0 Thunder. tie up. Quan sends that one in toward Carbone, and Carbone's on it. It's another clean possession for the Thunder. Who have not had much of an issue holding on to it. Carbone, Hogarth. Now a pass in for Spence, who's in front of the crease, didn't get there, and backhanded, both turned away by Beal. Black Storm with their first clean possession of the day, 4 minutes and 10 seconds into regulation time, as they'll bring it up the mid-line with Colin Bozak, who just came out of the penalty box. And Bozak's first pass is wide of his target, James Lindsay, out of play. The Thunder will take over. And Traeger Hogarth, the first man to touch it. Hogarth to Spence. Spence out wide. Carbone took a shot. Rebound was almost played by Lindsay. And then a double pass from Hogarth to Spence is also sent wide of Beal. Now Spence fighting for it. The direction that's Hogarth into the corner. Now Carbone from the top, thought about it, thought better of it. Matt Clinch is now on the floor for the Thunder. Spence between the circles. Spence, a sidearm pass. Now the return feed to Spence. He lost it. Top of the stick. Knocked it away from Beal. And now Hogarth in front. Another save by Beal. Rebound to Flex Hodges off the top of the shot clock. Quan brings it in around the backboards. Now they go around the horn as Clinches takes it around the blue line. Clinches to Hogarth. Hogarth making men miss, now spinning into space. Hogarth, Carbone to Quan. Quan on the far circle. Spence in the middle, winds and fires, shot saved by Beal. Ricochet comes out to Posadi, who's now back on the floor after going down a few minutes ago with an injury. He appears to be all right now. Posadi, Lindsay on a hop, saved by Atkinson, is loose in the crease, and Atkinson's on it first. So the first save of the day made for the Thunder goaltender. It's a 1-0 Thunder lead. Spence in the near circle. Spence driving in, and a shot turned away. Second chance, also sent wide. That was Deaglin Hogarth off the shot from Traeger. And now Lindsay the other way with no one else there. He scores. 5-hole on Atkinson, and we are tied as James Lindsay evens the score. Had to play in this shortened first period, shortened of the three. All three periods will be 10 minutes long today. Flinches off the draw, lost one into the stick of a Storm player, and now Posadi the other way, lost control of the ball. Lindsay regains it, fires a shot, it was deflected and sent high and wide of Atkinson. Lindsay tried to play it off the boards, he could not, and I heard the Thunder the other way. Hogarth with the first pass. Goes to the middle, Flinches further in for Quan at the doorstep, turned away, second chance is denied as Beal got on it. Posadi takes his time across the midline. He's over with about a second to spare before the 10-second violation. Posadi a pass to Bozak. Bozak threw a stick, shot, score! Colin Bozak, a hand was up, and it appears like the delayed penalty will be waved off, and it's 2-1 Storm. I think. No, the goal is waved off. No, I had it right the first time. Bozak scored, it's 2-1 Storm, and a delayed call waved off. Off the ensuing face-off, Thunder possession. Clinches all the way in, shot saved by Beal, the net moved, but that was because of his pad. Ball stuck in it. And the Storm goaltender makes another save. It's a 2-1 Storm. They've scored back-to-back in the game with Lindsay and Bozak. A minute 40 to play in the first. Lindsay to Bozak. Bozak between the circles, in and shot just wide of Atkinson. He made a sliding chance at it. Didn't touch the ball, though. They say the last touch by Bozak on the shot. And Deaglin Hogarth up the floor. Hogarth gets the return. Spence between the circles. Lucas Spence to Carbone, and a shot saved by Beal. Beal tried to drop it right off behind the net. Quan was in the area with good defense by the Thunder, but hustling away from him is Brent Beal, number 26. Beal goes to Posadi. Posadi, with Jackson cutting in front of him, will hold on to the ball. 55 seconds of play in this first period. Posadi driving in. A shot was turned away by Atkinson, who closed that top corner. Juan scoops up the ground ball. Quan to the blue line and the main circle. Now Quan to Spence. Spence, a pump fake back to Quan, and now a second try will go to him. Off the bobble, it's Quan in the far circle. Quan, pick set on Bozak, and a shot saved by Beal. And Hogarth denied the chance at a rebound. 17 seconds and 16 ticking off the clock. Posadi through the blue line and nearing that main circle with 10 to go. Posadi directing traffic, has Spence in front of him. Posadi's by Spence, now with Carbone in front. 3 seconds, 2, a shot wide. Bozak has the rebound go through his legs, and we are through 1 period of play and a 2-1 lead for the Storm. 10 minutes down and 20 more to come in the early game on Friday night at Rizzo Rink. 2-1 Storm lead the Thunder. So we're through 10 minutes of play with Rizzo Rink. Both sides ready to go in the main circle, but still 20 seconds remain on the intermission clock. After having a brief conversation with Thunder goaltender Connor Atkinson a few moments ago, I can confirm it is hot as hell in the arena. Outside City Hall today, I was told it felt like 107 by the Weather Channel app, which, to be honest, I'm not sure if I fully believe that, but it was sure close to it. Not much cooler here, though a few hours later. We're only 20 minutes left to go in this first game before the goalies can finally take the pads off and get a break. Bozak, though, trying to challenge the aforementioned Atkinson with an underhand shot. Will wind up off the bottom of the netting behind Atkinson's zone. So out of play, last touch Storm, and the Thunder will take it across the midline. Hogarth, on top of the far circle. Hogarth driving in, take a stick up high on a shot, they score. Hogarth on a hop, and it's 2-2. One minute gone in this opening period. The Thunder with the only goal in that first minute. They've evened the game at 2-2. shot off the stick of Brent Beal. Took a few hops and made a lot more noise than I think I expected it to off the angle it took. But right around off the back wall. Now Carbone in front, and as I was describing the sound, Carbone takes the pass and scores. It's now 3-2 Thunder. Michael Carbone is back-to-back. So Carbone off the great pass from Spence. It's now 3-2 Thunder. And now it's the Storm who yet again are looking for an answer. Off the face-off, it's Spence taking the away for the Thunder. Spence dishes out wide along the boards. Quan, miscommunication with Carbone. It'll be Carbone picks up the pass beneath the shot clock. Now Carbone out wide. It winds it back in the stick of Quan, though. Makes a man misfire a shot. A sliding save made by Beal. And that's to go in and get some momentum back. Now Lindsay and Jackson the other way. A 2-on-1. Jackson lost the ball and clinches, takes it away. Clinches up the floor. To the middle with Hogarth. And an underhand pass a little bit too far for Carbone. He couldn't play it off the boards either. And now the Storm take it the other way. Beal, Bozak, and looking for Lindsay. Couldn't get it to him. Taken away by the Thunder, at least momentarily. It was knocked out of the immediate danger area. But Posadi has it there at the midline. Posadi to Lindsay. Lindsay trying to spin around the clinches. Holds on to it. Now fires in the blue line. And it's wide of the net. Posadi trying to track it down. The shot clock's to 4 and to 3. Posadi has a hold. Was deflected by Carbone. And be a violation against the Storm. There's Hogarth in front of the crease. Gives for Carbone. Carbone pump fake. And now dishes to Spence. Spence. Quan. Another touch. Shot sent wide. As Quan was looking for a chance at it, didn't get it. Carbone takes it away. Now Carbone trying to weave around his man. He cannot. Shot clock's at 5. Clinches. A pass high for Quan. And it was caught just before the shot clock expired by Brent Beal. So brain fart there from Beal. And it's a fresh 30 seconds for the Thunder, who still lead by 1. Spence on the pass. Carbone in front. Saved by Beal. Carbone had to go over the top, and the door was slammed shut by Beal ahead of time. So the save made. Timeout called from the Black Storm bench. 6:05 is where the clock will stop to go in the second period. And we have a 3-2 lead for the Thunder on the first stoppage. .5:45 to play in the second. 3-2 lead for the Thunder. Coming out of the timeout, it's Lindsay with possession. He gave to Scott Jackson in front of the Black Storm bench. Jackson to Posadi. Posadi made to the stick up high, but it's friendly fire from Jackson. Posadi is shot. And takes a weird hop off the base of the boards and goes sky high off the ceiling, out of play. They say deflected by the Thunder. It will stay Storm ball. But Posadi's down in the main circle. And we'll see what this is about. They Lasadi's been taking a beating today, and both sides with very little sub, so massive credit to all the players playing in today's heat with little help. He's back to his feet. So Basadi will come off. He'll go to the bench. We're back underway. Lindsay with the pass further in for Bozak, and Bozak lost control of the ball. The Thunder will take it in the corner from the blue cross sign. Possession is back to the team in yellow and black. Hogarth to the middle, and the Hogarth dies out. Lindsay was fighting for it, and Lindsay's still fighting for it. Couldn't bring it in. The ball's lofted in the air. Did not hit it right, surprisingly, as Bozak was in the area. Thomas was almost there when it fell. Instead, it's Declan Hogarth. A pass back to him, and it's wide. Spence takes it. Shot clock expires, and a last-second shot that was blocked down by, I believe, the other Beal, not in net for the Storm, as Lindsay on a one-and-done on the offensive possession for the Storm takes a shot that's saved, and a timeout called by the Thunder in the midst of all that. So 4:17 and ticking, and now stopping at 4:16 to play in the second. 3-2 score, the Thunder lead, and they call their first timeout. .410 and ticking to play in the second. 3-2 the score in favor of the Thunder coming out of their first time out of the game. Quan picks up the wayward pass from the flinches. Quan at the top of the near circle. A pass to Spence. Spence fired a shot, saved by Beal. Rebound came out in the area of Lindsay. Turned away. Now Plasadi lofting one all the way down. Almost brought it in with one arm. Says the Thunder taking it up the other way. Flinches fired a pass wide. It almost fell in the back of the net as Kwan was the intended target. It went off the backboards and came in front of him. Plasadi with speed. Bozak takes it himself. The shot is saved by Atkinson. And Plasadi will surrender the rebound to the Thunder. Flinches fired a shot that's wide. Spence is back to get the rebound. We'll go past him on the initial roll. But Spence takes it off the boards. Shot clock halfway there with 3:13 to play in the second. Quan driving in, underhand toss to Clinches on a hop, saved by Beal, and he's on it. Lindsay up the other end, through the midline and blue line. Lindsay between the circles. Slipped almost down, stays up. Lindsay, a shot, saved by Atkinson, deflected wide into the corner. Plasadi takes it in the near circle. Plasadi ducks under a man, fired a shot, deflected and wide. And over the glass wall, out of play. .218 to play in the second period. As Brent Beal trying to chase down a rebound, couldn't get it. back to the other Beal, Blake Beal, who's in net today. Beal to Jackson. Jackson hovering around the blue line. Jackson to Posadi. Posadi between the circles. Posadi a shot. Save made on a hop by Atkinson. Lost the ball in the crease, but he's back on it for the Thunder. Atkinson to Hogarth through the blue line. A minute 40 to go in the second. Hogarth, Quan, shot, saved by Beal. Rebound comes out near Bozak, swiding for it, and now has it on the floor. Lost the ball again. Chasing after it in the corner of Quan and Thomas. And Beal came out of his own crease to get the ball. And that is a violation against the Storm. A chance for the Thunder to go up by multiple goals for the first time today. Although I will say they've had that chance in the last few minutes. Okay, I won't talk bad about the Thunder anymore. The ball almost hit me. Thunder ball remains, though. It was played off the base of the glass. Clinches to the blue line. Clinches to Hogarth. Hogarth a shot on a hop save by Beal. Almost got between the legs. Maybe it did, but the door was closed. And the Storm will take it away with Lindsay. No harm done to the Storm defense. 40 seconds to play in the second. Shot clock will take up almost half of that. Jackson to pass to Bozak on the far left side. Bozak now between the circles. Bozak made a man lose his stick. Bozak with a lane, takes it, shot, and saved by Atkinson. Off a high pad, a stick goes flying. And Bozak's going to get called for the violation, delayed call. Atkinson's going to come out of his own net. Quan at the doorstep, dishes, shot, save, push wide. Hogarth fighting for the rebound, 10 seconds to play. Thunder player getting tied up with Beal. .2 seconds is where the clock will stop in the second period. And we'll see what the penalty is. One likely against Bozak at least. So the final 6 seconds will be null. So it's Bozak getting his second penalty of the day. It's another 2-minute minor. This one for a slash. The Thunder looking to now go 2 for 2 on man-ups today. They scored their first goal. That was by Spence at 6:40 to go in the first period. Off a man-up, and that was also Bozak in the box, and that was scored. Now he's back in the box for 2 more minutes, but we'll see those 2 minutes in the third period. They'll take a break here at Reserve Rink. Off the opening tie-up, Quan sends one back for Spence. Spence gets the return feed around the main circle. And now Spence with a pass wide. Carbone on the return. Carbone's shot, save made by Beal. Lindsay takes it on the far boards. Lindsay across the midline, slowing the pace, trying to kill as much of the man down as they can. There will be 8 minutes of regulation time to play in the third, assuming they can kill the full penalty. And they'll be able to get back to full strength. 5 seconds for Lindsay fired a shot wide. And there'll be a shot clock violation against the Storm. Thunder will take over. And here come the Thunder across the midline with Spence. Spence, double pump, second chance goes out wide to Carbone. Fired a shot that was also wide. Hogarth takes it, and now back to Carbone, who has space. Instead it goes to Quan. Now back to Carbone. A shot saved by Beal. Loose in front. Spence had a chance at it. Quan's on it instead. Now to Hogarth. Carbone. Spence, shot, saved by Beal. Loose in the crease, and Beal's on it. And important to note, we've now moved to 4-on-3. So it will be a 4-on-4 full strength in the next 30 seconds once the Bozak penalty is up. Only a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. So the Storm can all but kill that man down just by holding the ball here. Lindsay, Beal, and I believe that's Jackson. It is Jackson in the corner with the ball. Jackson around the blue line. Thought about driving in, told to slow up though. Jackson lost one into the corner. And a smart play, conservative play by the Storm. We're back to 4-on-4, which is now the standard for full strength for the remainder of the game. Carbone, Quan in the middle, Hogarth, double pump, saved by Beal. Second chance, Spence couldn't bring it in. Quan fighting for the rebound. It goes in the corner, and Quan comes away with it, but denied at the doorstep. Quan to Carbone. Carbone to Hogarth. Hogarth by Spence. Shot not by Beal. Quan in front. 2 defenders on him. Spence looking to fight for it. And he's pressured behind the net. He's back on it. Spence. Carbone to the middle. Carbone to Hogarth. Now back to Spence. Shot wide. Rebound back to Carbone. Shot clock to 10. Carbone. Spence in the middle. Quan down low. Knocked away, almost knocked down, kept his balance. Shot clock to 4, Hogarth a shot, saved by Beal. It was online, though the shot clock will reset. And the Storm are on it. For a brief moment, they were no longer. Spence takes it away, in front of Quan, they score! And a costly mistake by the Storm defense. And a turnover in the crease results in a Thunder goal, and it's now 4-2 Thunder, ending the mutual scoreless drought of 12 minutes. So Ryan Quan gets his first. Quan, Carbone, Traeger, Hogarth, and Lucas Spence. 4 different goal scorers today for the Thunder. It's been James Lindsay and Colin Bozak on the other end for the Storm. Scott Jackson hoping to add his name to that list. Takes the face-off away. It'll wind up in the stick of Lindsay. Jackson had a stick a little bit high. And now a one-hop shot, they score. Lindsay with an answer. And it's back to a 1-goal game, 4-3, with 6:10 to play in the third. And Lindsay becomes the first multi-goal scorer of the day for either team. And he ends an almost 16.5-minute long scoring drought from the Storm. Last goal was by Bozak with 2.5 to play in the first period. Although these periods shorter today, 10 minutes, at least for this first game. Likely we'll say the same for the second game though. Bozak in the corner, a shot online and saved by Atkinson. Spence plays the rebound in the corner. Spence across the blue line and the midline with 5.5 on the clock in regulation. Spence sprinting up, they score! And after a 12-minute long scoring drought, we have 3 in about a minute 10. And it's now a 5-3 Thunder lead. Off the face-off, Bozak takes it. Bozak on the far wall, pass to Lindsay. Lindsay between the circles, a shot just sent high and wide of Atkinson. Clinges will play it off the glass. Now Clinges through that far circle. Clinges still hanging around the blue line with 4.5 to play in the third. Still waiting for help. Now finds it in Carbone, gets the return to Clinges. A shot, they score. 3 goals in a matter of 2.5 minutes for the Thunder offense, and they have broken it open. It's now a game-high 3-goal lead, and it's 6-3. This one, Matt Clinges' first goal of the game. Now 5 different goal scorers for the Thunder, making up those 6 goals. Clinges taking it away through the blue line. Clinges dishes. Hogarth had it for a brief moment, but instead picked up by Ryan Kwan. Kwan to Traeger Hogarth. Hogarth to the top. Clinges out wide. Now in for Hogarth. Hogarth a shot, sliding save made. And the new goaltender in for the Storm, Andrew Sloan. Clinges around the blue line. Clinges. Carbone deflected away by Sloan and played along the far boards. Clinges takes it around the blue line with 3:10 to play in the third. The Thunder can milk the clock for a little bit. As Clinges still hanging around the main circle. Thunder will play hot potato with it as Traeger Hogarth gets his turn. Hogarth pushed away, stick went flying with the ball in it. Well, A+ for creativity on the scoring try, but coming up empty nonetheless. Scott Jackson across the blue line. Jackson to Lindsay. Lindsay to Posadi. Posadi a shot, saved by Atkinson. It'll go into the corner. Hogarth tracking it down. Hogarth up the floor. Clinges takes it. Clinges gives to Kwan. Kwan back to Clinges in front. Clinges turned away by Sloan. Sprawling save, and the ball found the iron as well as Spence in for Kwan, who tried to redirect it on goal. It's sent high and wide. One hot pass to Lindsay. Bobbled it, but once his third, he's going to have a chance, and turned away by Atkinson, who kills it in the crease. Second chance, what a save by Connor Atkinson. Shades of Diego Maradona's hand of God to keep the game at a 3-goal lead as Atkinson went sprawling and shot the left hand up. And it made all the difference as he denied James Lindsay at the doorstep. Bozak, and then they score. Colin and Bozak from between the circles makes it 6-4 Thunder. And Atkinson needs a breather and win a well-deserved one. And again, a massive credit and shout out to all the guys playing in today's heat, especially these goaltenders, Sloan, Atkinson, and Beal, who have dealt with it for most of, if not the entire game, if you're Connor Atkinson. Only 70 seconds more to deal with it, though. Kwan takes it off the main circle. Atkinson pleading with his team to kill the clock, and I don't blame him. Kwan to Clinges, final minute of play. Clinges has Spence around the blue line. 50 seconds. Spence. Hogarth back to Spence. Shot clock to 5 and ticking. Spence on the return. Dishes out wide. Clinges. Shot. And they score. The final dagger in the coffin. And it's now 7-4 Thunder as Clinges will get his second of the day. And the officials will call the game. The final seconds will tick off without issue. 7-4 will be your final score in the early game on this rare Friday doubleheader. Up next, we have the other 2 playoff teams in this year's PBLA bracket, the Moore Dudes and the Beer Wolves. Be sure to stay tuned for that on the PBLA streaming channel.